Welcome back to a brand new Goalhanger video, and Derby County have won 4 championship matches in a row. Who'd have thought I'd be saying that during this season, but we've been fantastic over the course of the last couple of matches, and to win 4 in a row in the championship is no mean feat. It's a difficult league and Derby have performed really well in the last 4 matches across the space of about the last 2 weeks now. And today we're just going to be talking about it a little bit and how Derby County have come to find this fantastic form. And it was needed, really, wasn't it, Derby? We struggled in them first 8 to 10 games or so, obviously only winning 1 in and around that and gaining a couple of draws. We were struggling, to be completely honest. We were struggling in matches to match the level of each team. We were struggling to be creative in the final third. Now, you can probably put that down to a couple of reasons. Probably the injuries didn't help us in terms of playing the style of play that we wanted. John Eustace said in one of his recent interviews that there would be bumps in the road. He knew that, but we just have to manage it and overcome that. And we've done that really well over the course of the last 4 matches, especially with players going back from injury. The team has started to settle, and there's a couple of reasons why I think we've had that good form that we'll get onto later on in the video. But it started off against Norwich City in that 1-0 win where David Ozo scored that fantastic goal after the hard work by Patrick Agyemang to win the ball back and lay it off. Now, for context, we'd come off the back of that international break. We'd gone away to Oxford and we'd lost 1-0, and we were pretty poor in that game. We really struggled to be creative. Oxford deserved the 3 points. It could have been a couple more if it wasn't for Zetterstrom in goal keeping us in it. But the team has really stepped up since then. Obviously, like I said, we beat Norwich City 1-0, in which was a big game for both teams. Norwich was struggling for form, Derby, so were we. But we come away from that game with the 3 points. We then played QPR on the Saturday. We beat them 1-0. And you could see the games were starting to build and improve. You could see we'd laid the foundations against Norwich, and now we were improving on our performances. And it was great to come away from both matches with 3 points in each. We then faced Sheffield United, and what a win it was for Derby County. Colton Morris scoring a hat-trick, and that for me is probably our best performance of the season so far. We were clinical in attacking areas. Defensively, we were quite solid, obviously only conceding the 1 goal in the game quite late on. But it was a really enjoyable performance to watch, and it was probably one of the first times this season I've come away from the game going, that was a really enjoyable match that we've watched Derby County performing, because before this run of form, it was a difficult watch at times, I would say. We weren't the most exciting, we weren't creating a lot of chances, we weren't scoring a lot of goals, and it wasn't amazing to watch. But in the last 4 games, we've started to build on performances, and there have been more exciting performances, and you can tell that the atmospheres have improved at games. And then most recently, last night we've played Hull City, a team who are right in form. I think they're unbeaten in the last 6 and could have stretched that to 7 if they'd have gotten a result against us, and we've come away 2-1 winners in that game. Maybe a little bit fortunate since it was a goalkeeping error which gifted us the 3 points in that second half. And in that first half, I would say we were the better team. Yes, Hull hit the crossbar and had that good opportunity there, but Derby, Colton Morris with the goal from a corner, a fantastic header. And when you see that picture of all the Hull City defenders around Colton Morris as he rose the tallest to head it into the back of the net, that's a great image and really epitomises how good Colton Morris has been for us so far this season. I think he's up to 9 goals now this season. He's one of the leading top goal scorers in the championship, and deservedly so. He's been fantastic for us. But we go in at the break 1-0 up, and you knew Hull City were going to come out against us in that second half to try and find something in the game, and they do. A little bit of a scrappy goal, but they pull an equaliser back for 1-1. And I would actually say Hull were the better team in that second half. They worked the ball better than us. I don't think they were that effective in the final third in causing us too many problems, but Derby, our persistence and our patience paid off. Salverson scoring for us after coming off the bench. I think everybody at Derby County is delighted for him. It's been a long time coming. He's struggled with his injuries with us so far, and he's been limited to appearances off the bench because of the form of Colton Morris and how good Patrick Agyemang has been coming into the side. But it was great to see him score. Like I said, a little bit fortunate with obviously the ball dropping to him, but a really cool and calm, composed finish from quite far out into the back of the net. And it gave us the 3 points and a massive win in making it 4 in a row, and a big win against a team who are banging form. Hull City have had a really decent start to the championship season. They found themselves just outside the playoffs when we faced them last night. But it's a big win for Derby County, and to win 4 in a row in this division, as I mentioned earlier at the start of the video, it's no mean feat. It's such a difficult division, and after the run of form that we had at the start of the season, which wasn't very good, to now 4 wins in a row is really refreshing to see. Now, I think the 2 main reasons why I would say we've had this upturn in form is probably because of settling that midfield. Derby County, it feels like every year we talk about how important the midfield is to how we play. And I think we've found a really decent midfield combination, which is getting us up further up the pitch and giving us that creative freedom to attack. And that is obviously come in the form of David Ozo and Bobby Clark. Now, Bobby Clark was limited to appearances off the bench and starts in cup games when he first joined us on loan at the start of the season. David Ozo was still overcoming his injury. David Ozo, we know how good he can be. Last season, he was one of our best performers when he played. He controlled matches, he dictated the play. And I think he's doing a similar job to that this season. His technical ability is there to see. He's got a high ceiling of potential, and it's great that he's able to flourish with us. Bobby Clark surprised me a little bit, actually, how well he's performed in that central midfield. I think he's done really well. His attacking quality is there to see. I think he's one of the players that spurs us on further up the pitch and can unlock a defence. We've seen moments of it at the start of the season, especially at Burnley away as well as Ipswich away. And another part of why I think we've had this upturn of form is that defence. Derby, I think we struggled at the start of the season when we had some more of the squad players starting games. You could see that we were off the pace a little bit, but the defence has performed so much better with Sondre Langas coming into the team. We know Langas is probably Derby County's best player in terms of performing week in, week out at such a high level. Obviously signing for us midway through last season. He's been fantastic ever since. He's overcome his injury now, and it hasn't affected him at all, that injury. He's come in, been one of our biggest performers. I think he comes into that back three and he commands that defence. He helps out Matt Clark alongside him. He also helps out Dion Sanderson, and it's a really nice partnership that we're starting to see flourish in that back three. It probably also helps the likes of Joe Ward, who's playing out wide on the right-hand side, who we know is good going forward, but defensively probably has his limitations. And it helps that he knows now that he can go forward and attack a little bit more because he's got that solid back three behind him where he doesn't have to rely on his defensive ability too much in games. And it's really refreshing to see. It feels like we've finally got the right combination in the starting 11 to really take the game to the opposition. I think in contrast to the start of the season when there was a few more squad players filling in, it felt like we were sitting back quite a lot in games and we were happy to take a point, or we just weren't creating too many chances in the final third. But it feels like we've got a nice balance across the team, and this might not even be our strongest 11 with players still yet to come back from injury. But what I would say is I'm not going to get too carried away with this run of form. It's fantastic that we've won 4 in a row. It's brilliant. Derby County have been really good in these last 4 matches, but I'm not going to get too carried away and start saying we can push on for playoffs and finish inside that top 6. I think if Derby County could get anywhere near that top 10 would be a brilliant season. We've shown that we can take the game to teams, we can beat teams who are in form, but I think it's just all about building on that and trying to continue that momentum. As long as we've got a fully fit starting 11 of those key players, then we can match pretty much most teams in this division. But as we've seen, in contrast to the start of the season, if we do have injuries, then this team can struggle. So I'm not going to get carried away, but I'm just going to enjoy that we've won 4 in a row. And could we potentially go on to win a 5th in a row, going away to John Eustace's former team, Blackburn Rovers, on Saturday? I probably believe we can. I'm definitely more optimistic now that we're in this run of form. Blackburn Rovers aren't in the best run of form. They probably find themselves in a position that they don't want to be in. They'd prefer to be higher up in the table. I feel like we could go there and get a result. I think we've got some momentum now going in with us. And if we go there and get another win or even a draw, I'd be really happy with that. And it'd be a fantastic run of matches for Derby County. The Championship's all about momentum. Can we carry on this momentum going forward? I hope we can. If we can keep away the injuries from the team and don't concede too many, then I think we'll be okay going forward. But it's been a fantastic run of form so far for Derby County. 4 wins in a row. Hopefully we can make it a 5th on Saturday. And hopefully these good times can continue at Derby County. If you have enjoyed today's video, just a little bit more of a sit-down talking one, then don't forget to like and subscribe and follow the social medias down below for more content. I'll see you in the next one.